Let me take a calm moment with you because when financial news starts moving quickly, especially news tied to benefits and relief, it can feel unsettling. And when you hear talk of new relief coming out of Washington, have you found yourself quietly wondering whether help is really coming? Or if these headlines are just another promise that won't reach your bank account? Many seniors and disabled Americans are hearing new discussions right now, and the noise around it can easily create confusion. My purpose today is not to rush you or overwhelm you, but to give you a steady, clear explanation of what is being talked about, why it matters, and how you can stay grounded while things continue to develop. My name is Sara. For more than a decade, I've spent my time helping American seniors, people living with disabilities, widows, veterans, and families on fixed incomes, understand changes that affect their financial security. I know how stressful it can feel when headlines suggest big changes but don't offer clarity. And I also know how important it is to separate real information from speculation, especially when your monthly income matters so much. Right now, lawmakers in Washington are actively discussing new forms of targeted financial relief as part of a broader economic recovery effort. These conversations are happening because many Americans, particularly those living on fixed incomes, continue to feel pressure from rising costs. Even though some economic indicators show improvement, everyday expenses like groceries, medications, housing, and utilities still take a larger share of monthly budgets than they did just a few years ago. The focus of these discussions has been on people who are least able to absorb higher costs. That includes individuals receiving Supplemental Security Income, commonly called SSI, and Social Security Disability Insurance, known as SSDI. There has also been discussion about support for certain low-income retirees and disabled veterans. These are groups whose income does not easily increase when prices rise, and lawmakers from both parties have acknowledged that reality. You may have heard figures mentioned in the media, including possible one-time relief payments discussed at amounts up to $3,200. It's important to approach those numbers carefully. These figures are part of proposals and negotiations, not guaranteed outcomes. Nothing becomes real until it is finalized, funded, and implemented. Still, the reason these discussions matter is because they reflect growing recognition that many households are under strain and need meaningful support. Over the past few years, many seniors have shared the same concerns with me. Grocery trips cost more than expected. Prescription refills require difficult choices. Utility bills fluctuate with the seasons, and housing expenses leave little room for flexibility. Even when inflation numbers improve on paper, daily life often doesn't feel easier. These realities are driving the current conversations in Washington. One reason this potential relief has drawn attention is because of how it is being discussed. Lawmakers are emphasizing simplicity and speed. Rather than complicated applications or long waiting periods, the goal is to use existing benefit systems to deliver support efficiently. This approach is designed to reduce stress and avoid confusion, especially for seniors and disabled Americans who already navigate complex systems. If you currently receive SSI or SSDI, your information is already on file with the Social Security Administration. That matters because if any relief is approved, officials would likely rely on the same records used to send monthly benefits. In practical terms, that would mean no additional forms, no special registrations, and no paid services. Payments, if approved, would be sent using the same direct deposit or mailing information already connected to your benefits. However, even when legislation moves forward, there are still important steps that must happen behind the scenes. Agencies such as the Treasury Department and the Social Security Administration must coordinate systems, confirm eligibility rules, and ensure accuracy. These steps take time. Even when officials work quickly, that's why any relief, if approved, would be expected to arrive in phases rather than all at once. Another common question is whether this type of relief would affect regular benefits or other assistance programs. Based on how similar payments have been handled in the past, relief payments are usually categorized as non-taxable support rather than earned income. That typically means they do not reduce Social Security benefits or interfere with programs like Medicaid or nutrition assistance. Still, final guidance always matters, and it's wise to wait for official confirmation before drawing conclusions. Let's talk more about who is being prioritized in these discussions. SSI recipients are often at the center because they have very limited income and resources. Many are elderly, blind, or living with significant disabilities. For people in this group, even small increases in living costs can create serious hardship. SSDI recipients are also a major focus. These are individuals who worked and paid into the system before a disability changed their lives. Lawmakers have acknowledged that inflation and rising costs hit these households especially hard. There has also been discussion around disabled veterans and certain low-income retirees who may not receive SSI but still struggle to keep up with rising expenses. What is being emphasized across these conversations is fairness and targeting. Relief is meant to go to those who need it most, without creating confusion or duplication. People who receive multiple benefits would not receive multiple payments. Any support would generally be combined into one payment, up to a set amount. Now, let's shift to something very practical, because preparation matters. When the government sends direct relief, the fastest and safest method is usually direct deposit. If your monthly benefits already arrive in your bank account, that same account would likely be used. If you receive paper checks, you would still be included, but mail delivery can take longer and is more sensitive to address changes. This is why I gently encourage you to review your information with the Social Security Administration. Logging into your My Social Security account and confirming your bank details and mailing address can prevent delays. Many payment issues happen simply because an account was closed or an address was never updated. Taking a few calm minutes to review your information can save weeks of unnecessary stress later. It's also important to remember that payments, if approved, are typically sent in waves. Not everyone receives them on the same day. SSI and SSDI often follow different schedules. If you hear that someone else received a payment before you, it does not mean something is wrong. It usually means the system is processing payments in stages to ensure accuracy. Behind the scenes, agencies run checks to prevent duplicate payments and identify inactive accounts. These safeguards protect everyone, but they also take time. Patience is not just helpful here, it's essential. Rushing or reacting to rumors can lead to unnecessary worry. And this brings me to an extremely important point about scams. Whenever financial relief is discussed publicly, scammers become more active. Please remember this clearly. You do not need to sign up on unofficial websites. You do not need to pay anyone to receive a government payment. No government agency will contact you by phone, text, or email asking for your personal or banking information. Anyone who claims they can speed up your payment for a fee is not legitimate. Slow down, step back, and protect yourself. I also encourage you to talk with someone you trust. An adult child, a family member, or a close friend can help you evaluate information calmly. There is no harm in waiting for official updates. There can be real harm in acting quickly under pressure or fear. Staying cautious protects both your finances and your peace of mind. Now, I want to speak to the emotional side of all this, because financial news is never just about dollars and cents. For many people, the idea of relief is about breathing room. It's about paying a bill without anxiety, refilling a prescription without hesitation, or simply feeling a bit more secure. Living on a fixed income means every price increase forces choices that others may never have to think about. Heating a home, buying groceries, scheduling a doctor's visit, these are not small decisions when income is limited. Over the years, I've spoken with seniors who quietly sacrifice their own comfort to help family members, and with disabled individuals who stretch resources far beyond what anyone should have to manage. Wanting stability is not asking for too much. It is a basic need. Needing support does not mean you failed. Many of you worked hard for decades, paid into the system, raised families, and contributed to your communities. Life changes, health changes, economic conditions change. Support during challenging times is not a weakness. It is part of a system designed to help people weather circumstances beyond their control. At the same time, staying grounded is important. Not every proposal becomes policy exactly as discussed. Dates can shift, amounts can be adjusted, eligibility rules can be refined. That's why balance matters. Stay informed, but don't let speculation steal your peace. Avoid planning around money that hasn't arrived yet. Let clarity lead your decisions. If relief does reach you, use it thoughtfully. Address the most pressing needs first. Ease immediate pressure. If possible, set aside a small amount for unexpected expenses. The purpose of support is to reduce stress, not create new worries. As we come to a close, I want to leave you with reassurance. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. These discussions are happening because millions of Americans are feeling the strain of higher costs and fixed incomes. Whatever the final outcome, clarity, patience, and caution will serve you well. My name is Sara, and my commitment is to continue walking beside you with calm, steady, and honest information you can trust. As updates develop, we will go through them together carefully and clearly, one step at a time.